Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Hold on a second. Let me shut this light out for better lighting. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. That light's just really annoying as it's on. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric. This is going to be a look back at the Flyers season. Well, I think some of the things we took away from this season is Hackstall still said some stuff that we question, like putting in Brandon Manning over putting Robert Hagg back in after his injury just because he didn't do great on a line with Ratko Gudas was the latest of it. And then some people question putting Raffl back on the first line after TK was killing it up there. But TK's just killing it this year big time every line he's on. And Raffl's having a great year too. He's just unfortunately hasn't been healthy much, but the physical presence on the first line Raffl provides is kind of like when Simmer was up there. You can get those turnaround goals, those tough goals in front of the net, and those crappy, tough, bouncing even off your leg or your chest goals or from the big, tough guys like Raffl, Simmer. Obviously, he's going to need to step up in the Pittsburgh series. Those are goals that you need in that series, too. So putting him on the first line does make sense. And Konechny has just been a beast of a guy this year, and he's really taken off. Raffl's had a good year. Unfortunately, his health hasn't been the greatest this year. Wheel took a step back this year. He's one of my players that's on my step back list that you have to think of whether he'll even be here next year. If he is, you obviously look for him take a step forward, or they might just let him move on. Jori Lehtera as a pickup of the offseason, I put on my average list. Like, he did pretty much what you would expect. He started off the season pretty poor, but then he got going, and he's been a good defensive player the whole year, and he's got enough done. So he's on my average, but what we expect from him. Claude Giroux is on my elite all-star MVP list. I don't know if he'll win the MVP because it'll be very close with the McKinnons. McDavid might not win it because of how bad his team was, but he's still a freak. The Taylor Halls of the world, and et cetera, et cetera. So it'll be a very close race this year. But Giroux, I said it at the beginning of the year, I thought he was going to have a great season this year, but I thought he was going to come back to the old G, which was never 100 and some points. This has been the best year of his career, the first Flyer ever to get his first 100-point season after 30, the age of 30, and the first Flyer since Lindros, I believe, in the 95-96 season to get to the 100-point mark. So that was a big feat for Giroux, and then the Giroux's line mate, Sean Couturier, having the best season of his career, having in the 20s of goals and then multitudes of assists. He's always been a good passer and then has been playing great D like he always does, and we imagine he'll probably play great D. He was a big reason why, in the past, the Flyers beat Pittsburgh. So Couturier we look to again to help the Flyers beat Pittsburgh as we go into the playoffs. Wayne Simmonds had a very up and down season because, let's be honest, he's played the whole season. He's played a lot of the games. He only sat out for a little bit, but his health has definitely not been great this year. His defense has been very sluggish. He's been bad in the defensive zone a lot. He's made some lazy passes that you're not used to seeing Wayne Simmonds make, and I think this is just a down year for him. And a down year for him that still has above 20 goals. So he's still having a good offensive production year. Not as well as we would have hoped, but I put him on I think he'll be fine and bounce back next year list because Simmer is a good player and he knows what he's doing. And he just needs to get through this injury. And I look for him to even step up in the playoffs big because that's when you put it all on the line. He could have been saving it too. And then Raffl was one of my step-up players of the year. TK is obviously on that list too. There's just multitudes of guys that took big steps this year. Brian Elliott, when healthy, has actually had a very good season. Mid-twos goals against average, has been very good all year, has made some big saves. Peter Mrazek, since the trade, has been very up and down. He's made some big saves. He had some good game. Why we were losing before Elliott came back, a lot of those games were not directly Mrazek's fault. We have very bad defensive game. and all of a sudden we just seem to play the best in front of Elliott for some reason. Like the team in general, Brian Elliott makes some of the big saves some of our other guys haven't made, but our overall team just seems to play a more cleaner, fluent game in front of him for whatever reason over Peter Mrazek or Michael Neuwirth. In front of Alex Lyon, we play a very good game too, but for some reason in front of Neuwirth and Mrazek, our defense is not as good. I don't know if it's because of the chemistry with the goalies or whatever, but it's just not fluent. So I look for Elliott to step up big in the playoffs, and then we'll see what happens with the goaltending. That'll be interesting. Another step-up player is Alex Lyon himself. He's had a very good season when he was up here. He's proven that he can be an NHL backup and can carry some big game minutes if we need him to. So now the Flyers have depth, even more depth there. So this overall is a season that the Flyers did the opposite of what they did last year. They corrected a mistake in a sense, because last year we won 10 early in the season, then didn't make the playoffs. This year we lost 10 early in the season, but Giroux kept at it. That's another reason I think G should win the MVP, because Giroux kept at them saying, we're not playing bad hockey overall, we're just not getting the bounces, we're not getting the through passes that we would get when we're going good. We're having them hit someone's foot or just getting bad luck, and then just not playing our cleanest. If we fix that, guys, we will start winning games, was pretty much Giroux's message from when we went on that losing streak. And we turned it around. We won many games in a row. Then we've been up and down. The Flyers have always been like that. We've been up and down again. And then we looked good the 2 games going into the playoffs. So let's keep carrying that in, hopefully. And then our captain, Couturier, and TK, and Raffl, who I think is going to be big in the postseason for us. He is my dark horse playoff MVP for the Flyers, Michael Raffl. So the Flyers just need to keep doing their thing. They should be fine in playoffs. This season was a great season. It was very fun to watch, other than November. But this has been a very good season. Peace out, everybody. Have a good one. Sports Fanatic News, Joe Boric. Peace.